Good morning, everyone. This is Saturday. So good morning. Glad you're here. I have to, I have several clients who are opening up to their spiritual gifts and talking to them and walking them through the process, right? So I do this during my mentoring sessions with individuals. And the main thing that they're struggling with is being on all the time. And when you're opening up to your spiritual gifts, I'm going to tell you, like, it can be really crazy for a little while. Why? Because your guides and your loved ones are so excited that you finally opened up and accepted your gift, and they all have so much to say, right? And it's also the opportunity to learn things. It's learning how to turn it off, and it's also learning how to ground yourself. And it's really important if you're open, if you're doing spiritual work of any kind, it's really important to ground yourself, right? To be connected to the earth. And it's essential because it helps maintain balance, focus, and connection in the present moment, right? And so it also allows you the ability to control more of what's going on in your surroundings in that headspace than if you weren't. Because if you're not grounded, if you're not protecting yourself, you're wide open for everything. And that can be a lot. And when you're doing the spiritual work and you're not grounded, it can cause anxiety, it can cause undue stress, it can have panic attacks sometimes. So it's really important to learn how to ground. One of the main things it does is provide stability and balance, right? Grounding keeps you centered and prevents you from feeling overwhelmed or spaced out. During deep spiritual practice, it ensures you stay connected to your physical body and to the earth. So, a lot of times, I do a simple grounding by just envisioning a white light coming in from the heavens into my crown chakra and down through the center of my body, out through my feet. And when it goes out through my feet, I envision this. I mean, I'm very elaborate about it. So you don't have to be near as elaborate as I am. It could just be a simple light going all the way through down to the earth. But when it gets out of my feet, when it gets into the earth, I envision beautiful vines going down and braiding their ways and twisting and turning their ways together down to the center of the core of the earth. And then from there, it creates a beautiful heart. And then it comes back up to my heart center. And so that's my grounding process. It sounds like a lot, but I can do it fairly quickly. And it's for me, it is envisioning that. For others, it may be feeling the light coming through and connecting down to the earth. Some it may just be a simple, oh, this is happening, right? And they just set the intent and it happens. But it's really important to do so, right? And it kind of keeps you, stable during your work. It also helps, grounding also helps with energy regulation. So spiritual work often involves the work with higher frequency energies, and grounding helps you process and integrate those energies without feeling drained or overstimulated. Um, have you been around people that are kind of new to connecting, or they haven't figured out the whole grounding part of it? And I mean, they're just like a bundle of energy and is a lot to be around. And you just want to be like, let's calm down. They can kind of feel like they're like amped up and going 90 miles a minute, and their energy can just be very overwhelming for you to even be around. Well, so if you find that you're one of those individuals, practice grounding more, being more connected to the earth, right? So it kind of helps calm those energies down. An individual, if you're getting drained, it'll help regulate your own energy so you're not drained after the fact. You actually feel pretty good, right? And so another thing that grounding can do is protection. Grounding creates a space for energetic stability, um, that, when it can act as a shield against negative and unwanted energies that might arise during a spiritual practice. There's several things that I do for protection. I will do a white light protection. That's basically envisioning a white light coming into my heart center and then from here pushing out around me, right? And so I do the push out from in to outward, because I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, like there was a farmer that wanted to protect his garden from the rabbits, and so he built a fence around the garden, but what he ended up doing is fencing in the rabbit, right? So basically it's like I want to start from the inside out so I don't fence in any energies that I may not want in that protective bubble, and then I can invite energies that I do want into it. um, Other ways are through crystals. As you see, I have several on. I like obsidian, like black obsidian is one of my favorite. This is just a palm stone for it. I also have it um, in my necklace that I wear, and it's also in these necklaces as well. So I really like obsidian. Another good one is the snowflake obsidian. It has little white specks over it. And so I really like the snowflake obsidian as well. That's a good grounding one. And then tourmaline is really great. Um, this is a rough tourmaline and it's really great. Just simply keep these in your pocket if you want to. I also wear kyanite a lot of times when I'm doing my work. And this keeps away negative energies. And I mean, like I have a ring too, so I may wear my obsidian ring. I'm not going to wear it today because I have so much more on. But yeah, so these crystals help ground you. I can tell you that I was at a channeling event and working with other channelers, and it took a lot. Like I was trying my very best to ground myself through my visions of, the a divine coming down. That didn't work. I tried to envision an anchor holding me down. And so finally I got to where the facilitator of the group just handed me a large obsidian, just like, here, hold on to this. Because I felt like I was just flying out of my chair. And so, I mean, it was large. It was like two handfuls. And so I just sat there and just hugged it because it just made me feel so much better because it brought me back down. So the grounding is important on so many levels, right? It also provides clarity and focus. Grounding helps you clear mental clutters. It allows you to focus on your intentions and the work that you have at hand without so many distractions. It also promotes emotional well being. It can help you manage intense emotions, right? Or spiritual experiences to ensure you stay calm and composed. And, it also provides a connection to reality. While spiritual work often involves exploring higher realms of consciousness, grounding ensures that you maintain a healthy connection to the physical world in your daily life. And so if you're struggling, if you're new at this, or even if you've been doing this for a while, but you've never looked at grounding yourself, I definitely recommend finding what works for you, whether it's crystals that you put in your pocket or that you wear, whether it's envisioning, a grounding technique through vision or through feeling or thought, a combination of all of the above. So explore the different groundings that you connect with and use these as you're moving forward in your spiritual work, because it can be a bit overwhelming, especially if you're fairly new at it, the first few months or first couple of years and you're fairly new at it. It can be overwhelming, and it can be so overwhelming that it will cause you to retreat and not get into that space. So Find what works for you and definitely incorporate it into your daily spiritual work. In essence, grounding acts as an anchor. It helps you navigate spiritual practices safely and effectively while maintaining harmony between your spiritual and physical self. And sometimes that harmony, is just what we're looking for. And sometimes it can be challenging when you're in this space to find that harmony all the time. So, practice with several different modalities of grounding. As I mentioned before, find what works for you. But I'm going to say, like, what works for you today may not work for you in 2 years from now. Or what you find on a daily that works for you if you start getting into where you're working with other individuals, like-minded individuals, and you're all channeling and working together. What simply worked for you when you're on your one-on-one may not work in the larger settings because the energy gets so much higher and so much stronger. So you may have to find different modalities for different situations. And so be open to that and explore that and just see what works for you. And I truly hope you find something that is amazing and fantastic, and you practice your grounding daily. Like, start your day with a good grounding practice and end your day with a good clearing practice. I mean, those are amazing things to take into consideration. So until next time, enjoy your spiritual work, practice your grounding, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.